Pizza time.
Like, all those movies she would put on when I was sick, and I think that's why I grew to hate them, because it was like in your delirium of being
Associated with
sick.
sickness.
Like the delirium of being sick.
You didn't get woken up to good morning, we talked the whole night through.
My grandma sings that song, and like part of it's like, this is a nice song, but also I don't want to hear it at like 7 in the morning.
Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party.
It could all go wrong from here because there's a new microphone. So,
What have we told you about not testing the new stuff before putting it up?
no, I did. I've had it for like 2 weeks.
Okay,
But so I've tested it.
You got it for the cool colors it gives off, apparently.
Well, I wasn't even planning on buying a microphone. I walked into Best Buy to get a USB adapter, walked out with a microphone. So.
Oh,
We could do that, but you could go to Amazon.
At least you're letting the scruff grow back, so you don't look like Bobby Hills, man.
Yeah, I trimmed too much off, so now I gotta wait for it to grow back. But speaking of who's back, Silly's back.
Is my mic not working?
It is. We can hear you, sir.
We can hear you. It's those tunnels in Ohio,
And FIO.
and FIO.
Yeah,
But
I don't know if I'm going to lose reception or anything, because I haven't even made it past Sandusky yet.
Oh boy,
So
we'll see.
they had to stop at Golden Corral in Fort Wayne, because apparently that's like the best one on the way.
Is it? I don't know. I know ours.
According to a
is great.
coworker.
According to a coworker. Okay, we are back. We were supposed to record last week, but apparently I was supposed to be at a cookout. It wasn't until the day of that I was supposed to be at a cookout, so that was great.
Well, it all worked out because we're all here now.
There we go. Yes, we are on episode 42 of the Long Distance Pizza Party podcast.
Oh my gosh, we lasted this long. How's that possible?
Get to
Well, we had a couple computer crashes in there, mainly from me. But silly. By the way, I got a new computer. So
Nice.
They didn't get it from Goodwill this time either. Look at that.
Yeah, there you go. Not from Goodwill. Not from a Walmart return or anything. Just. But we were talking about music taste. This is mainly because of Silly. He was bringing up some musical.
Oh, musical? Yeah. That little chuck.
Which, yeah, I gotta say this now. I do not like musicals.
Big surprise.
You don't like Salt of the Earth, man. I don't know. It's the Salt of the Earth of innocence.
They could speak instead of singing.
But why would you do that when singing is so much more fun?
I just never had a patience for musicals.
I'm halfway between. It has to be a good musical.
The best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. And I love to adapt that to say the best way to spread gospel cheer is singing loud for all to hear.
Yeah,
Really,
so,
all you gotta do is make them laugh.
Make them laugh. Make them laugh.
Make them laugh. Is it? But yeah, there's the first music hot take of the night is Nathan does not like musicals. This is not an unknown fact. My mom would always put on like Sound of what are those? The Singing in the Rain. That movie that comes from, like. All those movies she would put on when I was sick, and I think that's why I grew to hate them, because it was like in your delirium
Associated
of being
with
sick.
sickness.
Like the delirium of being sick.
You didn't get woken up to good morning, we talked the whole night through.
My grandma sings that song, and like part of it's like, this is a nice song, but also I don't want to hear it at like 7 in the morning. Like whenever it's like Christmas morning, I don't want to hear it. Like it's just one of those things.
So this is going to be, we're going to torture Nick the whole time while he's randomly breaking the song.
Yes, it's going to be great. So I'm going to get a lot of pings on YouTube being like, copyright strike, copyright claim. It's like, no!
Silly chose the perfect episode to come back on right here. Just the one where we just pure torture Nate the whole time.
There we go. It can only get worse from the one episode where I couldn't hear either of you, so.
Yeah, well, you don't have to specialize in musicals. It just so happens
we don't.
that particular person in question made this musical called Epic, and it's about the Trojan, or not the Trojan War specifically, but the aftermath of the Trojan War, and people at Ithaca are going back through and trying to get back to Ithaca. And so it follows Odysseus and his and their misadventures and him trying to get back to his wife and kids. That's just kind of the focus. He's recently wrapped it up as of last year, and he keeps bringing up a bunch of things about just the lore, I suppose, that he put into this project to make it a really good, close knit story-driven project. Where there's not really an element that's wasted. Everything's thought out. There's his own version of foreshadowing, and the way he uses the music. There's motifs that he installs for different characters, different rules about those characters, where they're always accompanied with a specific instrument. And then if there's a character that's related that to other characters, they'll get maybe the same motif, but it's a minor key, or it'll be a mixture of the two parents' instruments. And just him going off, promptly saying that he understands that it sounds like he's crazy, because he is. It just kind of blew my mind to the fact of being like, well, wait a second, that's exactly what God did in the Bible. Where the writer for Epic, Jorge, he basically is a microcosm of what God did in a way that God only could, to bring together 40 different authors, as we would consider 40 different people, to write his book, and to instill the different foreshadowing archetypes about Christ, all pointed to Christ, to prove to us as evidence that this was his plan all along, and this is what he wanted out of what he did for us, and of course from that, what he expects from us, and how we can respond, and to take hold of that gift. And so it's just kind of like, well, duh. And it seems to me too, whereas the best stories, the best projects that are really close together, always, they do have that beginning, middle, end, and then it's the specific purpose. It's not scatterbrained. Those sorts of stories are the best stories that end up, getting made. And yeah, so I mean, it's not just musicals; it's movies. So there's whole movies that are like that, books that are like that. I think obviously the hilarious irony of some authors and some creators where maybe they are believers and they don't like God, but yet they can't help but mirror him because they're made in his image.
Yeah, on some level, there's some of these creators, I wonder what their beliefs are, because there's core elements of something there in their music, in a movie they're making. There's some core aspect there if they maybe grew up in church but then left at any point, or had some of that in the background somewhere. It's interesting. I was listening to the new Linkin Park album, and one of the songs called Up From the Bottom, and there's a lot of messages there that I seemed in there, some biblical point of view you could take about being at your lowest and going up, and all that stuff there. I'm on some core element, maybe someone here, again, that's a fundamental in life, but also maybe there's a core element here.
Core elements would probably be more Scientology, because that's what they're...
Is she part of Scientology?
Oh, yeah.
I heard the rumors, but I don't know if she'd left or was still part of it or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that was her writing or if that was any of the other people writing. Because a lot of stuff off this album, it's stuff that was written before she came on. I don't know.
The Dianetics is just some great stuff,
Yeah. All right. Scientology is just a scam. Oh, I thought you were going to say something. You said be quiet, everyone. I was confused.
No, I said be quiet, Elron.
Oh, okay. I was confused.
I was aiming at Dawk as calling Elron Hubbard. He gets the joke.
Oh, okay. I didn't. It was right over my head.
Yes, it's... Never mind.
Move on.
We're the old farts here, Doc. I mean, it's what we are.
Yeah, it's okay, Doc. If my age was reversed, we'd be the same age.
Ouch.
I made that joke earlier in a different Discord, and they were just please throw something at him.
Man, you're 14.
Right, calm down there, Mr. Voice activated microphone over there.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah. Anyway, what is your guys' favorite genre of music? I think we all have different
musicals
tastes. Besides musicals.
I killed Silly over there.
I'm going to age myself. Well, I guess what now would be considered from the playlist that I've seen, the stuff that I listen to on, would be divorced dad rock.
Butt rock. With whatever you want to call it.
Like the early 2000s rock and alternative.
Yeah.
Skateboard music is fun. Was that ska? That's always a fun genre.
Oh, ska's fun. Me neither. 5 Iron Frenzy.
Yeah.
That last album. Mine are very eclectic. I think the older I've gotten, the more eclectic it got. Because it went from everyone would just buy us. So it'd be like anything in a Christian bookstore they'd find. It'd be a lot of like Lecrae. So I had a lot of that. Then I grew out of that, and then like went from like rock, and then some ska, and now it's like to the heavier metal genre stuff. So into like Tourniquet and like the thrash.
You always get some old school people.
We got hold of NF.
Oh, NF. And NF's the one I don't know if I count his as rap. Well, it is rap.
It's pretty rappy.
Yeah,
you don't count that as rap.
I don't know. I remember like the last. I'm not aware of any new albums as of late, but like his last one, Hope, and how it like kind of encompasses and like goes full circle. Because if you like listen to like the albums in release order, at least like the last 4 of them, it's like he like really takes you on a journey. He's really good at that.
Yeah, NF really likes to tell stories, especially in like it reflects his life too, in a way. Because there's album where he talks about his past and everything, and then he goes into this one. It's kind of like the hope he has, talking about like the positive in life. It's weird because not that he always talks about the negatives, but he's always talking about.
When Hope came in, I was like, oh, hopeful.
Yeah. Which is jarring, but like it's this journey that he's going on. It's really fun, and his videos are always well done too.
The idea of suffering, and not like in a masochistic way, but one of the things that have constantly he says those things that enemy did to him. He sat there and said that even if God slays him, he'll still trust. And it's like that same energy with Paul, with Jesus, or not Paul, excuse me, when Jesus, the disciples asked, do you want to do after speaking to hard teaching in John chapter 6 to the crowd, and they left. And Peter's like, where are we going to go? You're it.
Those famed tunnels in Ohio. Crad, did you say what you're doing?
I was going to say, I just want you to appreciate this is how it feels on the other side.
I know. I'm not. I know how it feels now.
I just want to take a pause and just appreciate this.
I know. While we're waiting for silly Crad, while he's getting out of his tunnel, do you see what genre besides musicals?
Well, I mean, when I've been raised very older school, I guess you could say. Grew up with appreciation of gospel music. That was what I was raised on for a long time. So some of that probably mixed with some bluegrass. Is that a good ooh or a bad ooh?
A good ooh. My mom listens to a little bit of bluegrass, so like it, a little bit's in there.
Bluegrass, maybe a little country, a little bit of rock. Some rap. I think I kind of went more through like a rap phase, kind of like you were talking about, like when I was probably late teenagers, early 20s, maybe. Mm-hmm. I still appreciate some of it, like
while Dave was still in diapers.
Yeah. When he was still in diapers, and when he had, his first Fisher Price computer that probably messed up too, but probably one of the learning pad things. But no, that kind of stuff. I kind of like seeing I'm kind of those people like seeing some music taken that is not traditionally one genre and being made that genre. Like, for instance, you take like popular Christian worship songs of the day and turn them into bluegrass covers. Those are kind of cool. If done well.
Yeah, that's one of those. I think it could, again, if done well, instead of just putting that little bit of it's bluegrass. I just got a little bit of twang to it. Therefore, instead of definitely putting actual effort into it,
stuff like that, kind of just mixing stuff, experimental. Seeing if stuff works. Some stuff does not work at all, but some stuff does work. So that's the kind of stuff I lean toward.
Do you guys have like a guilty pleasure song or genre that you occasionally will like go into your playlist?
Disney?
Is that your guilty pleasure? Disney music?
Disney music slaps.
Hey, there he is.
Yeah. Although I'm still in Amish country, so I'm not sure how well I can attest to being able to have good Wi-Fi.
You'll have to ask Amadeus for a cell tower.
Weird Al's Amish Paradise is now floating through my brain.
Weird Al. Like speaking
of guilty pleasures.
That
goes.
That's like a guilty. Like I don't know how he does some of those. Well, like some of it's just like I'm going to replace one or two words. Others it's just let's just again throw it into a different genre or like scenario, and it's like again the video helps. Yeah,
I'm gonna go see him again in August.
Nice.
I've wanted to see him.
Amish Paradise. I'm fat. Like there's
what
like
I bought on eBay.
What I bought on eBay. There's one I sent to my English teacher after I graduated. The one, that one, the work, and she's like, "What is this?" It's something. It's he just his career, man. I knew him for years from doing "Dare to Be Stupid." The song "Dare to Be Stupid" because it was on the Transformers soundtrack from the '87 movie. Not knowing it was Weird Al, and then one I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna look this up," and I was like, "Who's Weird Al?" And then that sent me down a whole rabbit hole.
Like a surgeon.
Yeah.
I'd say somebody did it even before Weird Al, and that's Ray Stevens.
Ray Stevens.
Yeah.
He has a lot of funny songs. Back in the day.
Is that the Chipmunk Revival?
That's the Mississippi Score Revival.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, when was the Chipmunk Revival?
I'm gonna get in trouble.
The Chipmunk Revival, and just see like Theodore Alvin, and they're standing up front preaching or something.
These guys, they're just sucking on the helium to keep the voices.
Yeah, but no, he's got a lot of funny stuff from back in the day. More modern day, there's a bluegrass band called the Cleverleys. I don't know if you've heard of them or not. They're stinking hilarious. Like they did Wolfgang Gangnam Style as bluegrass, which is freaking hilarious.
Another old school satirist, Tom Lehrer.
Yeah,
he did the. But most people would recognize where he does the elements to my periodic table to modern major general.
Oh, that's funny.
But
then he has a bunch of other ones that some of them are clean and some of them are a little blue.
Little blue. This phrase we'll go with.
They're a little blue.
It's a little blue, so it's blue.
There we go.
It's a little blue.
One of my guilty pleasures, and I hope this is in the movie, and someone's gonna have to do it. The Hey song from the He-Man meme. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. See, he knows it. It's a thing. It's I don't know how to explain it. It's just, you kind of gotta watch it and be like, you would just go, "What's this?" Move on. But someone just like, of course, reused a lot of assets from the He-Man show. Already on a cheap budget, they just made it into a meme song back in the day. I think it's like 10 years old. I don't remember. But when it comes
back in the day,
I hate saying that back in the day because I shouldn't be saying that. But
man, calm down.
32,
24. Thank you very much. How old do you think I was?
You misaged him.
Well, since I'm 29, I was thinking, I was sitting somewhere in the ballpark over 30 for me.
The shaved head silly throws people off.
I was going to say that it ages you about at least 50 years.
There you go. There you go.
It's like you're crazy for deciding to make a podcast.
Thanks for the update, Nate.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I had a question. I forgot because like silly talking. That just threw me off just slightly.
That's also part of old age. Welcome to it.
Okay. That's what it is. It's the old age. Okay.
The old man can't remember what he's thinking about.
Yeah. When it comes to music, have you ever? Of course, I've told the story, but like, have you ever had a time where someone just went, "Why do you listen to that?"
My dad.
Your dad?
My dad. He was not a big fan of Christian rap at all. Not at all. He couldn't understand it. Couldn't figure out why people liked it. Of course, granted, my dad's from a different generation.
Was he hello?
Yeah. Back in the day, he was. They didn't have any instruments. They just clapped their hands, and even that was a little controversial.
Slap the rocks together.
I'm that kind of dude. I like voices for worship and stuff, but and your own personal listening, it's fair game for me.
But no, so my dad was kind of like, "Why do you listen to that?" But I mean, I imagine if somebody actually looked at my playlist, they'd be like, "Wow, you really all over the place."
Oh yeah.
I like good music as long as it don't curse and it's a great topic.
Exactly.
Yeah. I of course grew up Pentecostal church, and then had to go to but I ended up going to a Baptist high school. My mom would go, "Hey, they're not gonna believe everything that we believe in. There's gonna be slight differences, so just be respectful." It wasn't until I got to like high school, and they were like, "We're gonna talk about CCM, contemporary Christian music," and I'm like, "Oh, this could go anywhere." And she had like cards. She's like, "Name these bands. You won't get." She went, "You will not get in trouble." Like, what's the worst that could happen? I could name every single band on that list. It was like Jars of Clay, 1,000 Foot Crutch. I can't remember who else was on there. It was like bands I was just getting into, so I knew all of them. And she's like, no, it was like, I think like, well, I don't count them as Christian. I think As They Lay Dying was on there, and I do not count them as a Christian band.
Really?
Yeah, weird. If you know anything about As They Lay Dying, any stuff that happened with them, they were on there. Skillet might have been on there. There was a couple that are, and it was very hand-picked pictures of like their older looks, like early 2000s leather jackets. Let's take a album, the back of the album photo in the back alley or something like that. Like, I not targeting this teacher because I still kind of talk to her in some ways. I get what she was doing, but it did kind of seem a little, not towards me, but like a little targeted. But she's grading it, and we're in this big room, so you can't just like hide or anything. And we make eye contact. I think she was looking at my paper. I'm like, well, second year here. This is how I get detention. This is how I get in trouble at school. This is
how I'm going to hell.
No one said anything, and like no one really like brought up. We never brought up music. It was always like, oh, we always listen to this. It's Baptist, so like we're
gonna do thing of it. Give me detention for going to the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we never signed that. We had a thing.
What kind of Baptist is that?
We had a at our school. There's like a thing we signed. We never signed it. We just never brought it up.
Post on the bulletin board. You bunch of Amish wannabes.
Yeah. My brother's Baptist, so I got to be careful what I say. He does listen to this.
I'm still asking, what kind of Baptist is that?
There's some Baptists that are like that.
That's like what primitive Baptist?
Oh, that's horrible. I was trying to get it.
No, we're not touching that. That's not.
So, like, I will remind you, Strange is Baptist in some form.
So am I.
We're just
oh, you are too. That's right. I forgot.
That's why I'm asking, what kind of Baptist is this? Cause
yeah, I know. But it was funny. Of course, after graduating, of course, really got into like a lot of the harder stuff I like. My mom's like, hey, go pick up your brother after school one day after I had a class. It was back when I was in college. Of course, wearing whatever shirt. I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, I should probably just put it. I was like, oh, screw it. They won't care. And then I thought about it again. I was like, I really don't want to get any looks. I want to get out of here. It's like 90 degrees out. I'm wearing this black metal t-shirt. I had a flannel in my car for whatever reason. Threw that on 90-degree weather. I don't know what I was thinking.
I'll say I'm Baptist, and my youth minister played Creed and Lifehouse.
Nice.
On Sunday mornings. Like, they had
nice. That's awesome.
There's nothing I heard in a while. Lifehouse.
Lifehouse?
Yeah.
I don't think I could ever get into Lifehouse. I think I tried listening to them, and I don't know if it was just that album.
I mean, all their albums sound the same, but it's still good.
Maybe I'll have to go revisit that. I don't know.
It was enough to when I saw them twice in concert, so.
That's fair. Do you have any concerts? Do you guys have any like concert stories that you're willing to talk about?
Accidentally ending up in the mosh pit at a Flogging Molly show.
Oh, nice. How do you accidentally end up in the mosh pit? Was this pre-saved or saved?
Saved.
Oh, okay. I was like, I didn't know if that was.
You saying say people can't do mosh pits? What you're saying?
No. I'm not saying that.
You're saying safe people can't go to a secular band concert?
No.
Truth turns out. Hot takes. Here we go. Let's go. Come on, Nate.
No, I've been to not in a mosh pit. I've been near a mosh pit, but at a concert. But
the opening band wasn't as rough, and so when they switched over, we were too close up. And then we realized real quick and backed up.
Nice. Yeah, the one concert I went to recently, They had a mosh pit. Of course, it was like a smaller venue. There was like 40 people there. It was very small. It's in the community center, local community center. That's kind of like in the middle of nowhere. It's on the west part of town. There's not much over there, so they were doing the mosh pit. One of the bands there, they were in the mosh pit. They were just going. I'm like, I'm just gonna back up. Like, I'm enjoying this, but I don't want to be like ramming against people. Plus, I had like stuff I had bought in my hand. I didn't have a bag or anything with me, so I don't like drop stuff. And I am always aware of my size, being a taller person in a lot of scenarios. So I part of that was in my mindset of like, oh, I'm not going to try knocking someone over. There were people that were there like that were shorter, and I didn't want to accidentally knock someone against something. I don't know if you guys ever went to like the winter jams or like any like the youth group like concerts they take you to. But one year our pastor son went with us. This is when he was part of the youth group. We're sitting outside. Of course, you're waiting to get inside. It's like several hours for whatever reason. Let's get 20 teens. Let's expect them to wait in line for several hours in Indianapolis in like 10 in the morning, 11 in the morning. And there was a protest going on for one of the bands that was there. Red was there, and they're like, Red Satanic. They had like a bunch of Bible verses like duct taped to their legs and everything. And like looking, I was like, oddest thing, whatever. I'm gonna ignore it. My pastor son doesn't and starts yelling at them in the line, calling them hypocrites. And like having a conversation. I was like, I hope someone's recording this. I think his cousin, his cousin, now our young adult leader, I hope he was recording something. I'm not asking if he remembers this happening, but it was fun witnessing that. They did not appreciate it, and they were gone after we left. I think they were escorted off the premises. Being a little disruptive.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, well.
And half the time it doesn't do anything, except for make people mad.
Yeah. And I'm like, if you're going to spend all that energy purchasing one band at the concert, if there's 9 others there, just go over to the Starbucks. Just stay over there. Like, you're just wasting your breath, kind of. If you're not going to like a band, that's fine. There's bands I don't like that I know people like, but I'm not going to crap on it for whatever reason. I just find it humorous that people like want to waste all this energy complaining about something they don't like.
So especially if they're so they're going to a thing to protest a band instead of throwing the hate there. They're out there. They could be out there sharing the gospel.
There's that too. Yeah.
And use the energy as something actually, instead of pushing people away, draw people in.
But why pick that one band? Why not, like, if there's people that are doing rap, you're gonna go after that too? That's the other, like, if like
they have nothing better to do.
Yeah, let's go after the one. I don't understand it. I don't know, Crad, if you've had any stories like that. But
I got to work a concert with Brian Head Welch one time.
Really?
One of his things. He worked with a local evangelist. Well, local evangelist, he used to be a local evangelist in the area, but it's like not too long after he kind of came out as Christian and stuff.
Yeah.
And so he came for this local thing, and even did like a battle of the bands, which I was at, and then they did like a big event the second day, and I was actually on staff for that. Working there, so that was interesting because it brought a lot of different people in. You know, some people were just pure Korn fans, and then some people were like Christian music fans, and so it was a very big melting pot of different people. And they actually had some UFC type fighting at that event too, so that was interesting. Because they ended up being like one of those people that stood around the cage to make sure people, wouldn't get on the stuff and like cause trouble while they were fighting in the cage. And it's just nothing screamed Christ like having UFC fight. But no.
Right.
If you don't agree with your brother, beat the snot out of him. That's what I say.
Right. Because that's what it says. That's what Jesus taught about while he was flipping the tables.
Turn the other cheek and hit that son of a gun. No. But that was kind of cool. That was one of my more unique experiences.
He's one of those people I would love to talk to. I just want to hear his point of view. I know he's talked about it in interviews. He talks about his point of view, why he still performs with Korn, why he still talks about all these people while professing faith. And the people that want to complain about you got to understand how many people he's reaching that are gonna want to talk to him by the way he looks. Because there are some people that could be suave, full suit, tie, that are going to get ignored by people when they're preaching and evangelizing out in public, versus someone like him who is out there, he's on tour, he's familiar with everyone, ever knows him, knows some form of his story, how many more people he's reaching. I had a discussion with my brother about, again, my brother's like Baptist. He went full Baptist like a couple years ago, and like he and I'll have conversations because he'll come home. I'll be listening to something. He does not like a lot of my music. Totally fine with that. I turn it up a little higher. And like he gets like bent out of shape about it. I'm like, it doesn't. You may not like it, but how many more people are these people reaching with God's message with this form of music?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's I don't know. Again, my genre of music isn't for everyone, but like there's some people that, you know, are hearing it and are enjoying it. What is like something that you guys listened to recently that you guys been like really enjoying that you can't put down, or just kind of more recent that's been out that you've been listening to? Honestly, I can't think of anything recent. I haven't listened to anything recent, like newer. I've just been repeating, listening to stuff. Yeah.
Let's listen. I listen to more podcasts and audiobooks and stuff.
I've actually
getting old. We get to the when you get older, you start listening to more talk radio. But nowadays, the modern talk
satellite radio. Yeah.
The modern talk radio is podcast.
Yes.
So you just listen to more.
Yeah, I have that habit of listening to more podcasts. Since I got my new phone, I don't have all my music on my phone, so I've had Spotify. I've been listening to like this like Christian rock 2010 mix in my car in loop. It's been kind of nice. Of course, to get like 1,000 Foot Crutch, Skillets on there. There's been a couple others. Demon Hunter is one of those bands I listen to a lot. Breaking Benjamin's on there, but I don't know if I really count them as like a Christian band. I think at one point they were.
No. No.
After the stuff I've heard about one of them doing on stage, just like chugging beers on stage, it's like, I don't know.
I never considered Breaking Benjamin Christian.
I know people that do.
Those people need help. No, I was kidding.
Yeah.
They need Jesus now.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be, what's the stupid? Could be Hinder. It's even worse.
Hinder. I think I know who you're talking. Yeah. It could be anything. It could be Marilyn Manson, you know, just who's...
Oh, we don't talk about him.
Yeah, we don't talk about him.
He's got a good voice, but that's about
it. Yeah. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Of like, not on Marilyn Manson, but on Christians with secular music? I know there's a lot of people that are like, no, you gotta stay away. You can't listen to any of that. Like, I again, know people that are like, I'm like, all right, then don't watch movies because you're gonna hear all the secular music.
I'm gonna give a runaround answer on this one.
You're good.
Because it's like, depending on, like, there's some stuff, like the content of the secular music, yeah, no, you don't want to, like,
yeah,
people listen to it, I listen to it for the beat, but then you're getting the content in, or not. But it depends on what on the song, base by base with the songs and stuff.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, sure. Because it's like, or are you just gonna tune out any movie you go to, like when like there's a Katy Perry song on the radio when you're like in Walmart, like it's such an odd thing. Now, should you go listen to Katy Perry and some of these more secular people? Probably not. I know Christians that go to like Taylor Swift concerts. Like I don't know. Especially when you see them on the stuff that they do on stage, makes you question. I don't know.
Well, I mean, and that's a personal conviction type thing.
Yes.
Really, on that. I was like, I went and saw, like, back in the day, I went and saw Perfect Circle, and Maynard is not Christian at all. He's almost up there with Manson.
Yeah.
But did that affect me? Oh, I'm sure it did. Listening to them. But it doesn't mean that, I mean, he's still using his voice, and God created music.
Yeah. Big joyful noise unto the Lord. I again cite that to my brother. I'm like, a lot. I'm like, say, some people like it. Again, because I was listening to some of the really recent Linkin Park songs. For whatever reason, I think it was on that 2110 playlist. Whoever made it, I don't know.
Put some of the new stuff on there.
Yeah, had some of the newer stuff on there. Listening to some like that older Linkin Park stuff, and the stuff that's brought up, like, I don't know if any of those guys are Christians. again, we've already talked about the newer lady, Scientology or whatever. Like, again, there's your conviction, but there are some of these people that have been in music for years that know of Christ in some capacity. It was in their life at some point, or they've heard it in some capacity.
Well, like with Three Doors Down, the guys are all Christians.
Yeah,
but they're a secular band.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
Yeah, like one of the bands was Demon Hunter. They talked about, they went out said, we are not a Christian band. Now, articles took that out of context and were posting me like, they're not Christian band, you shouldn't listen to them, here's all these X reasons. And Ryan Clark, the main musician, was going, we're not short form, we're not a Christian band, we are trying to reach these others that when we're out on the road. A lot of people pen Christian band, but there's a difference between being a Christian band and Christians in a band.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people took that out of context. Now, Ryan Clark talked a lot about his faith whenever I've heard him on interviews and stuff like that. And like, you could listen to a lot of their lyrics and you hear a lot of that. So again, it goes back to their intention of the heart and your own convictions. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's another one. Like, say, we'll go back to POD is another one that they say they're. I mean, it kind of goes back and forth to the thing, but in their lyrics, it's always talking about God.
Yeah. Or there are some musicians that are more outright, like John Cooper from Skillet. He's very outright in his beliefs.
Yeah.
But God, I think God calls in people different ways. We're like to be very outright in it, and there's some that profess that faith, but they kind of speak about it in a different way.
Yeah, and there's some that are very scared to profess stuff, or even though it sounds like it. Even though I was like last year I got to go to the Three Doors Down and Creed when they came through. And Scott Stapp, even though it sounds like it, he doesn't ever actually say anything. Where Brad was from Three Doors Down is sitting there giving the gospel out. Mm-hmm. The Enemy didn't like that because now he just got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. But
by the way, handling it very gracefully, at least publicly.
Oh yeah, I was saying it's like Enemy didn't like the fact that he went back out on tour after 30 years and is sharing the gospel.
Yeah,
because he got smacked hard.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate when stuff like that happens, but it is kind of it's cool to see that he's trying to bring more outright with that stuff like that.
Yeah,
occupational hazard.
Mm-hmm.
Occupational hazard. Is there like a song? I might be through our country. What? Is there a song you guys get like tired of hearing? Of course, I hate listening to the radio, so anything that song is on the radio, I just I ignore it. Baby Shark. Everyone hates that song.
Anything Toby Mac.
Hey.
Yeah.
It's overplayed.
Yeah.
Okay, there's some stuff, okay.
There's some stuff I like of his, but there's some stuff where it's been. I think there's still stuff that he made in like 2013 that's still on the radio that gets played to like ad nauseum.
Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down.
That song, NSYNC also.
You've been rickrolled.
There we go. Or no, that's not NSYNC. That's Rick Astley.
Did you say that was NSYNC? Wow.
Oh,
bless your heart.
Poor summer child.
NSYNC saying, "Never gonna give you up." Now I'm curious.
Just put it into AI; they'll make him do it.
Oh yeah.
Or just send Justin a message; he'll do it.
Oh yeah. That Apata song, dude, that's been playing at work at ad nauseum, and I hate it.
Which one?
That Bruno Mars Rose song.
Oh,
yeah, the chick from Blackpink. That song has been played in ad nauseum now at work, and I hate it. I didn't like it in the first place, but now I just hate it even more. But again, it's a lot of music that gets played on the radio. I don't know. I hate listening to the radio. That's why I hate driving with people, because they want to play the radio. I'm like, no. Because it's the same like 6 songs I've heard over and over.
Right.
The former job I worked, or the one I work now, there was these guys that constantly had to play the same radio station every day. It's a country music radio station. And it felt like the same 15 to 20 songs, and it made me want to pull my hair out.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Like I wanted that radio to like die a very unhealthy death.
You're like, it's gonna fall off the back of someone's truck, or
just mysteriously disappear over the weekend or something.
Yeah.
May show up with a bullet hole in it. You never know. But
there's no batteries in the building. I don't know what happened.
I was like so happy when they started, like the country music radio station started playing Christmas songs. I was like, oh, thankfully a break. Jeez.
but then it's Christmas music, so it's the same 5 or 6 songs.
Well, still, at least it was a break from the freaking. I don't like talking about it. It's terrible.
Could be worse.
Adult
could be the
fornication, loving you is fun. All that, yeah.
Well, with country music, it's always the same stuff. It's like you got to talk about, country girls.
Yeah, ran out.
I ran out of beer.
Perfect. What's the perfect?
There's a tear in my beer because I'm crying.
Jordan Taylor, who's been on the internet for a while, he made a whole song making fun of country music, and it's kind of great. But I don't have patience for country music.
Perfect country music.
The same patience you share with musicals.
They're on the part about me not liking country and musicals. I just don't have patience. I know I have some guys I work with that listen to country, so I've heard like all the songs, and I'm just like, I can't stand this genre. Now you may like it, that's fine, but go put your headphones in right on, flip and hear it. Like it's, oh man, I get frustrated when I hear country music, but a lot of people play that around here. Like, and like through like their subwoofers, like just hear it. I'm like, this is annoying. Like
my first for country.
Know a violin had bass.
Yes, I've heard. I'm like,
for country.
I'm like, subwoofers is probably the wrong word, but I could hear it blasting out of the car.
I was like, I know I'm from the dirty South, but that's no country in a subwoofer.
I live in like the middle of or not the middle, but like middle of Indiana. It's like near the, it's like kind of the South.
I live in the birthplace of
Midwest South. Oh,
Kokomo.
Well.
You live in Kokomo.
No,
Kokomo.
Near Kokomo.
Near Kokomo. Oh, cool. I should come visit sometime.
Jamaica.
Hey, you should come to church Sunday.
Oh, I wanna take you to Key Largo. Sorry.
Don't give me. I already did my rant about country music.
I mean, at least country doesn't. There's like I said, I come from the hometown of Chopped and Screwed.
Yeah.
It's all slowed down.
Yeah. Pivoting from us hating certain music genres, is there like a needle drop in a movie that you like really liked?
This is Sparta.
That's not a music.
Oh.
That's just a phrase.
You said a needle drop. You didn't say it had to be music.
That's gonna be a musical. It's called The Final Dance. Anyway.
There we go. Bringing it back around.
No, you think I'm kidding? I'm laughing because it's so hilarious that got brought up.
It is kind of hilarious.
Yeah. So, no, nothing's really like. They said that they got the majority of like the album and stuff mapped out, but like they're looking for cast right now. So
wait another 2 years.
About
3.
Give or take.
3. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Well, music drop, as dumb as it sounds, when in Star Trek Beyond, when they we're gonna play some classic music, and then they start blasting Beastie Boys, Sabotage.
I was like, which song did they play? I remember that movie. I couldn't remember what band they played. I'm like, this isn't really Star Trek, but it's kind of funny. Like it's, I watched that. I'm like, there's some Star Trek fan that's not liking this right now. Like
when it just drops into Sabotage, it's just like, okay, this is just.
They knew it was the last movie, and they're like, you know what? Let's just have fun with this. At that point,
yeah.
Of course, I'm a big fan of the Transformers the movie, the A7 one, and there's a lot of music in that. And one of the best songs in that it's called "Instruments of Destruction" by the band Spectre General. They have another name. I'm not going to say it. It's a pun of a body part, so I'm not going to say it. I really like that. No, I'm not thinking it. I like that song a lot. That movie's got a lot of stuff in there. Like there's the Transformers song everyone knows from Lion, but like that song is kind of like the Decepticon song that you could play, or like if you have like a villain, you could play that one. I've seen a lot of AMVs with different villains with that song. I like that one. What was the other movie? Again, Star Trek Beyond. I'm not a big Trekkie, but I enjoy them. But I know people that did not like that scene in that movie, or even like that movie as a whole. There's a lot of people that don't like the Kevlin timeline.
Well, I mean, it was It was as much of a Star Trek movie as Insurrection was.
Yeah. Crad, I don't know if you had a favorite needle drop.
Needle drop is in music and movies.
Yes, I think that's the phrase.
That's what you mean by needle drop. It's a good question, actually. I don't know. I mean, like we've talked about musicals, but if you're just talking about random music in a movie,
yeah,
that's a hard one, actually.
It's you're just gonna say Evanescence from Daredevil?
No, not at all. Randomly enough, I don't know if any of y'all are much on history, but like some of the Civil War movies and the soundtracks that go along with those movies are pretty awesome.
Oh, like just like the cinematic,
like Gods and Generals. Yeah, like when they use like the big scores to like underline the battle.
Oh yeah,
those are pretty cool.
I prefer that when some like historical movies they start playing like a rock song. Like, this doesn't fit.
Start shooting each other in Civil War. Welcome to the jungle. We got fun game. No.
It's more jarring. It's
Vietnam.
Yeah. If it makes more sense if it was Nam and they did that, makes slight more sense, but like still,
that's still kind of funny though.
Yeah, it's one of those parody movies. Like, the song's not out yet. We gotta wait a couple centuries or decades. We gotta wait a couple more decades.
Another good one they did. Whoever covered "Nothing Else Matters" for the beginning of Jungle Cruise. That's slower, a little more melodic.
The melodical.
Yeah.
That one's good. I like the music in Tron Legacy. Daft Punk worked on that. Even though that movie didn't do well, Daft Punk really worked on it. And it's going to be weird seeing 9 Inch Nails is doing it for Tron Ares. Which is... we'll see.
9 Inch Nails is doing it, and they're getting Leto into it.
That's a great mix. That's just... And they're going to the real world. Tron's going to the real world. That's what everyone wants.
I mean, it needs to... I mean, that's what the next step it has to be.
It is, but, like, no one watches Tron for the real world. Like...
When you have the bike slicing through the slicing through the car, it's like...
All right, this is where I get off. Like, I don't understand it. I probably hear about that.
This one?
Who?
Is Jeff Bridges going to be in this one?
I don't know. I didn't hear anything about Jeff Bridges. I don't hear anything about in the original cast from either the original or from Legacy being in it. Yeah, so I don't know.
Then why?
Yeah, like it's why you're already going to alienate your fans. Might as well have what people might recognize in it.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to hold that, make it like not a spoiler. You don't want to spoil it. Like, we know, like,
that's something you need to put in there if they're going to.
Yeah, and it's not in the trailer, so it kind of tells me maybe not. I know we've touched on this, and it goes with music. Do you guys have like a favorite like nerd song from like a show or something?
A favorite nerd song from a nerd show,
or like an intro from a show or something like.
Oh, Big Bang Theory.
No.
Yeah. Yes.
Veto. I veto that. Big Bang Theory sucks.
No, it does not.
Oh, you don't like the Bare Naked Ladies?
No. Oh.
That's the name of the band.
Why would you name your band that? I don't know.
Because they're trying to be funny.
Are they?
Ha 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 ha. Of course, then we could always talk about the other series that Nathan hates, and it's Power Rangers. But
hey, the Power Ranger songs slap. A lot of them do. There's some where I'm like, this is kind of boring.
I mean, if you want to go back to that frame, you can't beat Beetleborgs for the intro.
Big Bad Beetleborgs.
Big Bad Beetleborgs.
Yeah, that in any of those shows. What was the other one? It was like
ordinary average kids.
What was the other? It was like what was it? It was like Jim something. It was like what they're trying to make whatever with Power Ranger knockoffs. It was like 5 or 6 shows that were like that. Like Big Bad Beetleborgs, VR Troopers, Power Rangers were all, which now it's all canon to each other.
Yeah.
Now
there was the Knights.
Because now VR Troopers isn't in Power Rangers. They recently just showed up in the new comics.
Yeah.
Because they're running out of ideas. They can't move past they can't move past Mighty Morphin, so they're just like, how long can we prolong it? Let's throw VR Troopers in. Oh man, there's a couple of these shows that like the Gargoyles theme I really like, or Conan the Barbarian show, which I don't know why he got a show.
The old X-Men, Spider-Man.
Yeah, any of those.
Captain Planet, he's our hero. Dawk's like,
Captain
nope,
Planet.
not that one.
He's like, no, not Captain Planet.
Yeah, those.
The only good thing was those intros.
I mean, DuckTales. Yes.
DuckTales, Ninja Turtles,
Tailspin,
Rescue Rangers.
Rangers,
Chip and Dale.
Tiger Sharks. It was no. There's Street Sharks and there's Tiger Sharks. Tiger Sharks is in the same continuity as Thundercats.
Oh.
George of the Jungle.
George of the Jungle, strong as he could be.
Watch out for that tree.
Fun fact, I had to do that yell for my middle school choir concert.
Did you really?
Yeah, we did that song.
Awesome.
And I was actually, there was another guy supposed to do the yell and ended up like crashing on an ATV, and so I ended up being like the backup yeller.
Oof. He was practicing. He had to get himself up.
Yeah, had to go out in the woods and get it right and just work out for him.
Yeah, he didn't stop before he hit the tree.
Yeah, he did not stop before he hit the tree. That's horrible.
That's horrible.
Did I mention he was killed? No, I was kidding.
I was going to say, don't tell me that's horrible.
No, I'm just playing. Just playing.
That's horrible.
I'll make you feel worse. Nah.
Darkwing Duck. Batman animated series.
Tiny Toons.
RoboCop.
Tiny. We're all
little loony. Of course, Animaniacs.
Of course, Animaniacs.
Yep.
Did you watch that the Tiny Toons? Not reboot.
No.
It wasn't reboot. Or whatever they're calling it. The sequel or whatever.
The reimagined? No.
Yeah.
I think I tried to turn it on and it was like, no.
I think no one watched that. I think that came and went.
I mean, I hate watched Velma, but I didn't watch the Tiny Toons.
You watched the Velma. You know who's going to be bad.
Because I knew it was going to be bad.
I can tell you it's going to be bad. As soon as Scrappy shows up, you already knew it was bad.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you?
Scooby-Doo has good ones.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to make another edgy one on Netflix, and I don't know why. But, like, they can't.
How about Inspector Gadget?
Inspector Gadget. Any of those like early 2000 shows also, like after the 2000s, they just stopped doing like fun intro shows. Like half the fun of those the shows were like the fun intros, and then they're just like, nah.
Yeah, early 2000s, I kind of fell out of that one.
Oh, I think
aged out of that. So that.
Yeah, well, by the early 2000s, like they're like, well, we ran out of budget for an intro, so we're not going to do one.
I'll tell you two more animated. That would be Angry Beavers and Cat Dog.
I remember Cat Dog. I don't remember a bunch of Angry Beavers.
Long world with little cat dog, cat dog, cat dog, cat dog, cat dog. Long world with little cat dog.
You see, yeah. I figured out why he doesn't like Big Bang Theory.
Why?
He's too young to get the brilliance of Dexter's Laboratory.
Oh yes, that is true.
I watched some Dexter's Laboratory.
That is true. I didn't think about that. That was before your time, there, young man.
Not really. When did Dexter's Laboratory come out?
Before your time.
It was like 2005.
No. It was
no.
90s.
Oh, was it 90s? Oh, well, yeah, that would be before my time.
2005.
I think I watched the reruns in 2005. So
it was on. Dude, it started in 1996.
Oh, well, yeah.
You weren't even alive.
Oops. Yeah. That's yeah. Oops.
We came out in 2006 or 2005, right? That's a new
I was barely a thought.
We had.
I wasn't a thought. So. Well,
back then we had Dexter's Laboratory. We had Johnny Bravo.
That's
we had the New Adventures of Johnny Quest. That's all.
That's the Old Adventures of Johnny Quest.
I don't know.
He didn't like his old adventures.
What about the newest adventures? Where's the newest adventures of Johnny Quest? Where's that?
Cartoon Network got tired of making them. Like replaying
Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network just gave up. They're like, Teen Titans Go. Let's.
Yeah, that's what Teen Titans took over.
Rerun that like 5 billion times a day.
Yeah. Maybe we'll give you Total Drama Island, and then cancel it.
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Courage the Cowardly Dog. Those like 2000 Marvel shows had really good songs. The Avengers show they did. Doug. That's not a Marvel show. But
no, it's not a Marvel show.
Yeah,
it's just a formative, show of my childhood's all.
There it is. Yeah,
Doug started off on Nick, and then went over to
Disney.
You talk about songs in shows. Killer Tofu.
Killer Tofu.
Killer Tofu.
Mighty Ducks, Killer Tomatoes.
Oops.
That's a fun song from a show. Technically, Killer Tomatoes. Of course, Tree Sharks. We already talked about that.
I mean, if you're talking about the fictional bands and stuff, the Wild Stallions, you can't beat them.
Yeah. Did you watch that last?
Yeah, I've watched all of them.
Bill and Ted? Okay.
Yeah.
I bought that on DVD for $2 at Walmart. Someone threw it on the clearance section. I was like, I want to watch it anyway. I guess I'll just get on Walmart clearance. And I liked it. I think it's just an odd. I think it was
They did a good job with what they're doing.
Yeah, they did. But it was like that point where people were getting kind of tired of weird sequels that are way too late. But I think they kind of riffed on that a little bit. Speaking of like cartoons with songs, someone brought up VeggieTales. I think it was Silly. It was talking about VeggieTales. I think that also informed a lot of, not that it informed my music preferences, but it's one of those kids shows that had like to a point where it's like good songs. Did anyone have like a favorite?
Or if you were
too old? Yeah, or if you were too old to remember.
Too old to remember? Really? Too old. Some kind of age joke there, Sonny Boy?
I mean, you should. VeggieTales was what, 93? 96?
I mean, hey, if you aren't going back to Agape Land, then you need to hush.
All I know is that I'm probably the only one in this room who went to an awesome screening of Esther in the movie theater in my hometown. So,
That's how small your town was? Dude, I think the best one, only because I know like the backstory of like...
The movie theater that it happened at isn't even there anymore. The Kmart next to it isn't even there anymore.
No one has Kmarts. Kmart's ancient history.
The writing was on the wall when they marked up their video games $10 more than everybody else.
Oh, I'm sure it was the video games that killed them. I'm sure.
Did them in.
Yeah. Wasn't just not great. But I like the controversy around that from parents was the cheeseburger song. Because parents were making a lot of parallels.
Says you're his cheeseburger.
I watched someone made a whole breakdown, be like, the vegetables are sitting in this song. It's all about lust. Over a cheeseburger. It was like,
they complained about that. Did they hear Barbara Vanity?
Yeah, I was just saying. It's like,
you are the one for me, one for me.
I think that also did me in for not liking musicals too.
With the stupid doll and the pops back up looking guilty.
Yeah, and then when Bob opens the door, he's like, "What are you doing?" Nothing.
Bob. Maybe you should read a book.
Oh, where is my hairbrush?
Yeah. Apparently, my mom went to school with a couple of them.
A couple of talking vegetables?
Of the guys from Big Idea.
Oh, sure.
She says that, and I'm like, let me see your yearbook. Just.
Oh, really?
What VeggieTales song is that?
It's not a VeggieTales.
Oh, okay. I was like, okay, it's Weird Al. I was like, when was that a Weird Al? Or when Weird Al song? When was that a VeggieTales song? Touch all the topics of music and how much I hate musicals.
Yes, yours are the youngest one and the most pessimistic of us.
Sure. I don't know if pessimistic's the right word, but
what's the right word?
I don't know.
Critical.
I wouldn't say I say it. I'm like, I'm not critical. But and when yesterday I went on a 20-minute rant about Mission Impossible, the last Mission Impossible movie, like about like one scene in it. But
of course you did.
Yeah, I didn't dislike this last Mission Impossible movie. The one before that sucks.
I mean,
the Dead Reckoning is very boring. Final Reckoning is actually pretty good. It's okay.
Well, at least they quit. They didn't put it part 2, Dead Reckoning Part 2, like they originally were going to.
Oh my gosh, yes. Hey, at least they weren't trying to tease another movie after that too. Well, they kind of do. They kind of make it where like you can make another one. I don't. After 8, it's fine. After Fallout, I don't think you need to make any more. But they made 2 more. I don't know. If you enjoyed this episode, thank you for listening. We're back on a regular schedule, because apparently I had to go to Cookout, so that disrupted things. Last time we were trying to record, after I tried getting it all set up, and then I got people like, oh, by the way, we're doing Cookout tonight, you're going. I was like, well, dang it. If you enjoyed content like this, again, follow us at Pizza Party Pod. Thank you to those who are following us on Facebook and on YouTube. I got like a ping, actually, like a bunch of new viewers on Facebook. And I was so confused. I was like, what? I'm like, maybe I was being more consistent on the Facebook because I hate posting on the Facebook. Flipping the media thing that they have where you do Instagram and Facebook, you guys need to fix it. Yeah. The meta needs to fix it. It was driving me nuts from a technical aspect. I was like, this is very annoying.
That's why you just post it to Instagram and have it automatically go to both.
It keeps linking to a different account, and I can't fix it. I don't know why it does it that way, but then when I do it through the meta, it's fine. It keeps linking to my own personal account.
Then you just need to have it set
I goofed something. I don't know what I did.
Because I do it with my business stuff all the time.
I goofed something royally, and I don't know where to fix it, so...
You're supposed to be the young technical one that knows all this stuff.
I try, I try.
And we're the old men.
Yeah. I know.
Or me and Crad.
What'd you say?
Dude, I like almost. Me and my dad broke a small computer trying to set up my eSIM card on my new phone. So that tells my technical prowess with technology.
What's the prowess? No.
Yeah, okay. But I don't talk about technology. I talk about food stuff. So if you want to follow that, go follow me at ft_fatscrewdudes. What did I do my whole schedule's all out of whack this week. I was supposed to get Starbucks today, and that didn't happen because the Starbucks I go to was closed for whatever reason.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, Starbucks are never closed. Like, it was for maintenance or whatever, it was closed. Oh, you could try. I tried some. Real Tea has a bomb pop tea. It was pretty good.
So you could try this new Sprite Plus tea.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
The wire's not long
Sprite Plus tea.
That's right. You're from the north.
I'm from the Midwest.
Close enough.
Yeah, that's.
Close enough.
I don't like bottled tea, and I liked it. You know, it kind of says something.
Close enough.
Yep, close enough. Silly, where can they find you since you haven't been on in like a while?
I have a TikTok, SillyBoy 2. I've got a YouTube that I've not posted in a gajillion years. SillyBoy 2.
Are you gonna chase some chickens?
Chase some chickens.
Yeah, I'm making a joke because Strange was posting a video about chickens.
I don't know. I don't do much. I have a Twitch. If you want to go to my Twitch page, SillyBoy202, I have a tip jar. You can just, not tip for what I'm not doing.
Stream you playing knockoff. I almost said Hero Factory, Guitar Hero. My brain was flipping stuff in my head.
Yeah, I don't do that much, but I probably should get into do some other stuff just because see what happens. But
yeah, all play and no fun makes Silly a dull boy there.
Yeah.
Dawk, where they can find you?
You can find me on the TikTok.
The TikToks?
Yep, TikToks. RS Dawkins 84, where I do Bible reading and old prayers.
Nice. Do you just go through a devotional? I watched a couple of your videos. I don't know if you had a devotional you were.
I have like books of prayers. Like one I'm going through right now is Prayers of the Early Church, Spout of Heaven.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Kind of cool. And
different books of the Bible. I'll go through a chapter. I try to stay consistent. Some weeks are better than others.
Nice. Crad, what CW show are you reviewing this week?
This week's show is shows that Nathan don't like. It's a really popular series. Includes Power Rangers, Big Bang Theory, anything from 1995 that has been identified as being in 2005,
including me.
Yeah, including Silly.
1995. So there you go.
So it's real popular. It's going to last for all about one episode, but it's going to be pretty cool.
There you go.
Wait, only one episode, so it's the shows that he likes or doesn't like?
No, doesn't like.
Oh, if it was you get multiple episodes if it's something I like.
It doesn't like. I thought it was going to be more episodes.
No, it's very. We sum her up very nicely. It's really wrapped up in one phrase. It's called everything.
Yep. There you go.
Okay.
I say I don't hate things, but the more I think about it, the more I talk about stuff with my brother and sister-in-law. It's like, I hate this, I like this, I hate this. I don't know.
We hear it a lot.
I know.
I can tell he's really liking his microphone. I can tell that.
Yeah, I know.
His little voice-activated LED microphone going, ooh.
Yeah. It was an amount of money.
About $140.
A little more than that. It was like about $200.
$230.
Actually, about that after tax, after getting a USB adapter too.
You're telling me you spent almost $230 on a microphone and you couldn't scare up a good computer for a year and a half? That's what you're saying to me right now?
A little bit. Yes. So, hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Silly, what is our outro?
Has been Long Distance Pizza Party. We have stayed up late swapping manly stories in the morning. I am making pizza.